So our final award, and this is the Member Lifetime Achievement Award. And this is for the member who's been in Vistage for more than 10 years, who has grown, changed, learnt, excelled through their journey with Vistage. But I'm delighted to say that our winner, Bill Williams, is going to join me now. So we have a few questions with Bill, who's Chief Executive of CME. Bill, how are you?
Good morning. Yes, I'm very well, thank you.
Great to see you. Now, I say CME. I did ask the question, are you CEME or are you CME?
We are, CME is the Centre for Engineering and Manufacturing Excellence, and our passion is the future prosperity of British engineering and manufacturing and the technology sector.
Wow, must be interesting times for you. How's the last year been for you and your business?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, think of CME as we have a big science park in East London. We have a research institute, the High Speed Manufacturing Research Institute. We have a partnership with UCL also, which is a university technical college. So different businesses have been affected in different ways, but the main campus of CME has, to be completely honest, in March, I thought, crikey, are we going to get through this? And as we head into December, we've actually got a waiting list of businesses trying to get on the campus. So it's been a pretty remarkable period, actually.
I'd just do Dr. Chris's points there. Have you, has your business model had to adapt during that period? Have you changed things?
The business model itself hasn't changed. One of the things that we did at the outset, which came from the Vistage group, actually, that I'm in, we basically empowered the board. We changed all the delegated authorities. We set out a strategy we basically followed UK government announcements, tracked Italy and Spain, and took really big decisions really quickly, both to reduce overheads, but also get in front of customers. And that's borne its fruit. So, but I wouldn't say we've pivoted the business model as such. We've made a few tweaks, but that's it.
So is it 12 years at Vistage?
Well, I'm told 12. I think it's slightly longer actually, but 12 is fine. Yeah.
Good. Oh, is it slightly longer? So a lot's probably changed for you during that period. Is there any things that either prior to that you've learned about yourself, or big lessons or experiences that you think would be useful to share with the community?
Well, it's interesting. I was just listening to Chris at the end, and we talk about pivoting, we talk about home working, we talk about leadership traits and things like that. But I'll tell you what hasn't changed, and I don't think it will change in the future for chief executives. And that is, you need to deliver results, and you need to be perceived to be delivering results. And the people who are the most important in delivering those results are customers. And so leaders, I've had a fantastic learning experience through Vistage, and that will continue. It's all about conversations. Yeah. It's all about being an effective communicator. And if you have to hone that skill, and you have to prepare for difficult conversations, and that has not changed. It hasn't changed since before I joined Vistage, and I don't think it will change in the future, because I don't think algorithms will be able to have full dimensional human conversations, which is where change happens, and that's what moves us forward. Yeah. So, and I think that's one of the fabulous things about Vistage. Vistage is what you do with it. But how you get the knowledge and the experience is through the conversations. Yeah. And then you have to go away and do something with it. Yeah. So I think those things, not in my lifetime, they're not going to change.
And what do you, I suppose if you're thinking about any kind of major inspirations that you've had, or people that have inspired you through your life or your career, who would you cite as a big inspiration for you?
Well, I'd say number one is Churchill. He's often, of course, quoted, and for very good reason. And there's lots of books written about him. But the standout moment for me when I think to Churchill is that when he became prime minister, um, after 50 years of trying, he one of his first significant meetings was when he was leading a party that didn't want him as leader, with a king that didn't want him as prime minister. And he was faced with making some really tough decisions. So talk about feeling on your own
Yeah.
and still having the strength of character to pursue things. And I think that is, of course, Vistage is a support group for people who work in jobs, chief execs and leaders. There's lots of times when you feel as though you're on your own, and that's because you are. That's why you get paid more than everybody else. Um, so, there's times when you really have to believe in yourself. And I had an instance, I sit on another board, and something happened where the majority of the board, and I'm not the chief executive on that board, I'm a non-executive, and the majority of the board had a different view to me. And, I reflected on it, and somebody who mentors me said, just because everybody isn't in agreement with you, Bill, doesn't mean you're wrong. Do you still feel that you're right? I said, well, yes, I do. And those are the defining moments, aren't they, for all of us? They're the ones, and they're what make great leaders. So to me, the self-belief and the commitment to this country of Churchill is absolutely inspires me, and but for what he did.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've a big poster in a frame print in my office, which is never, never, never give in. And
Wow.
I'm sure everybody watching this will know there's times in business when you will have seen things happen because of people who just didn't give in.
Yeah.
And that's not innovators necessarily. Of course, Dyson's name will get thrown around and all of that stuff, but there'll be people who did things in a department, in an organization, that nobody thought was achievable. And it's because they kept going.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
They had an
that's
idea, a belief. Yeah.
yeah.
How do you feel about this award?
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled, to be honest, because
Yeah.
I don't, uh, Vistage to me, I think, is a fantastic community. It's a wonderful place to come and learn. So it's an organization that I hold highly. I'm very lucky to have, I've had two chairs in Charles Llewellyn and Harry, and both excellent chairs, and V15's been a fantastic group. And I've met lots of people along the way. So to get an award from an organisation that you hold in high esteem is super special, and so I'm absolutely over the moon, actually.
Yeah, well, I'm absolutely delighted for you. Really pleased to meet you, albeit briefly, through this medium. But well done, great achievement, and really pleased that we could recognise it here today. Thank you so much for coming and joining us, Bill. A real pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Take care, have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Cheers, bye now.